Okay, hello everyone. So we'll start with the first experiment in your digital signal processing laboratory. So your first experiment is generation of discrete time sequences. I'll explain the code line by line and then you can try the code. The code will be shared through the WhatsApp group. So you can try to run the code in your MATLAB. So you have already installed MATLAB and I hope you are familiarized with the menu options in your MATLAB app. So in your first experiment, we are trying to generate elementary discrete time sequences. So discrete time sequences are nothing but here your signal will be shown at the discrete intervals of time. So that is what a discrete time sequence is. You would have studied all these things in your signals and systems. Continuous time signal is a signal which changes continuously with time, and in discrete time signal you will have signal at a particular interval of time. So that is what a discrete time sequence is. So first program is for the generation of unit impulse signal. So here we are trying to generate a unit impulse signal. What is a unit impulse signal? It will have signal with a unit amplitude. Unit means amplitude of 1. So unit impulse means only at 0 the value will be 1 and at other instances the value will be 0. So first we are trying to clear the command window. CLC is for clearing your command window. Next we are trying to clear all the variables. So clear all stands for clearing your variables that are already present. Close all. Close all is the term which is used to close all the figure windows which are already open. And then now we are creating a variable t is equal to -2 to 1 to 2. So we are trying to create the time interval of your signal. -2 is the starting point of your signal. 1 is the increment of the signal. So -2 and then the next point will be -1 and then 0 and then +1 and the end point is +2. So this is how you give the time limit for your signal. Next you are creating another variable y is equal to zeros of 1 comma 2 comma 1s of 1 comma 1 comma zeros of 1 comma 2. So we are trying to create an array with the following values. So we are going to give zeros for 1 comma 2 position and then ones for 1 comma 1 position and zeros for 1 comma 2. So now you are going to plot all the signals together in a single window. So subplot is the function which is used to plot multiple signals in a single figure window. So subplot of 2 comma 2 comma 1. So the first two indicates it's a number of rows, second row indicates the number of columns, and then the third variable 1 denotes the position. So 2 comma 2 comma 2 is 2 rows, 2 columns and the first position. And then we are going to plot the signal using stem function, stem of t comma y. So t is your x-axis and y is your y-axis. So the time limit is in a x-axis and your amplitude is in y-axis. So now we are giving a title for your signal. So title of unit impulse and then y label amplitude and then x label. So for each axis you are giving a label. So this is how you plot your unit impulse function. The same thing we are going to do it for unit step sequence. So unit step sequence is created by using this formula. You would have studied all these things in your signals and systems. So now we are going to get an input and try to create a signal. So first we just gave two inputs and then we try to plot it. So now we are going to take the input in the command window. So n is equal to input of enter the n value. So this capital N is your length of your signal. So we are trying to get the input through the command window. So let's say n is equal to 10. So your signal length will be 10 minus 1. So that is what the next line is. T is equal to 0 to 1 to n minus 1. So whatever the n value you give, it will take minus 1, n minus 1 as the length of your signal. And then you are creating another array. Y1 is equal to ones of 1 comma 1. So ones is nothing but an array will be having values of 1 throughout the length of the array. So the size of the array is 1 comma n. So whatever value you give, that will be the length of this y1 array. So again you are trying to plot it, subplot of 2 comma 2 comma 2. So second 2 rows 2 columns, second position. So STEM is for plotting a discrete time sequence. Again you are giving the title, yes, unit step, y label as amplitude and x label as b of n. So two signals we have seen. So the third type of discrete signal which you are going to see is ramp sequence. Ramp sequence is nothing but it's more or less like a linear relationship. So either your output increases with the input or your output decreases with the input. So here also we are trying to get the length of the signal through the input command. So enter the length of the ramp sequence. So your command window will display that, and whatever you give us, whatever number you give us input, that will be taken as capital N1. So you are taking time as 0 to N1. So you if you guys remember the equations for your ramp signal, so your ramp signal x-axis values will be equal to the y-axis. So that's why you are taking time limit as 0 to N1. So now you are going to plot it in subplot of 2 comma 2 comma 3, that is 2 rows 2 columns, third position. So again you are using stem function to plot the signal, stem of t comma t. So t comma t is you are having t in x-axis and also t in y-axis, that is the same values in x and y axis. So you are giving the title as ramp sequence and then y label and x label. So this is how you plot the ramp sequence. And the last type of signal sequence is exponential sequence. So here again you are trying to get an input and then creating a time limit. Again you are getting another input, because the exponential signal you need the formula as exponential of a power t. So you need two inputs, a and t. So for t you are getting the input as n2 and taking it as the length of the signal, and you are getting another input as a. So here there is a trick in plotting this exponential sequence. You should give appropriate values for a and t. So the base value should be like minimum, and then the power value should be like a value which is greater than the base. So only when you give a value like that, you will have a curve which is like a pure exponential signal, or else your graph will be like straight lines, or you won't be getting a proper input, proper output value. So now I'll show that while running this code in MATLAB. So now you are going to plot the fourth signal in fourth position, that is subplot of 2 comma 2 comma 4, and then you are using stem function to plot the signal, that is t comma y2. You are giving a title and then y label and x label. So now we have seen the explanation for this code. So now what I am going to do is I am going to copy this code fully and then paste it in MATLAB. Open the MATLAB. So while you open the MATLAB app, it connects to the MathWorks cloud, so it takes some time to connect to the cloud. So once your MATLAB is open, go to the files, click the plus icon, create a new file. While creating a new file, always remember you should not give the file name as the inbuilt function. So just name your experiment as DSP experiment 1 or something like that. So don't give file names like signal or stem or something like that, because whatever the file name you give, if it is an inbuilt command, then the inbuilt command will be overwritten by your file name. So always remember that naming your emscript is a very important thing. So I am creating DSPX1 as a new file. So I have copied the code from that. So when you paste it on the script file, you can see that there is a color change. So I have already told about the color change in your previous video lectures. So I have copied few of the code. Again I am going to copy the rest of the code. Now I am going to paste the rest of the code, and now we are ready to go. I am pressing the triangular icon button and your code is evaluated. So now you can see there is one figure, that is unit impulse, which is displayed there. Now it is asking for n value for the ramp sequence. I'm just going to give 7. I press go. So you can see there are 2 figures displayed in your right side. So now it's asking the length of the ramp sequence. I'm sorry, the previous input for a unit step sequence. So the second one is unit step. So first one is unit impulse, second one is unit step. So the third one it's asking for length of the ramp sequence. I'm just going to give 9. So you can see the ramp sequence is displayed. As you can see, the first figure had only one figure, that is in the first position. So remember we tried the subplot, right? So 2 comma 2 comma 1. So the first position has unit impulse, second position has unit step function, third position has unit ramp sequence. Now it's asking for length of the exponential sequence. So for the length of the exponential sequence, I'm just going to give 15. So this is your t value. Now it is asking for enter the value of a. So like I said, the base value should be like a smaller number. So when you give values in terms of 0.2 or 0.3, you get a nice curve for your exponential image. So now I have 4 figures. Let me just click on the figure. You can see. So the first figure is the unit impulse. So whatever we have given, so we have given the title, x-axis name and y-axis name. So everything is displayed here. So the first figure is unit impulse, second is unit step, third one is ramp sequence, and fourth one is exponential sequence. So in exponential sequence, I'm sorry, I just panned the image. Yeah. So in exponential sequence, you can see that exponential increase is nice when you have a smaller a value. So once you get your figure, just click on the right top. You can see there is a share option, save to pictures and close figure. So you can click on save to pictures. So the image will be saved to your pictures gallery. So it is important to save your output because you will be submitting a lab report at the end of the semester. So always save your images for your lab report. And then there is a share option where you can click on share and share the image. So you can share using multiple actions. So when you get your output, post that in our WhatsApp group so that I can evaluate your lab experiments. So that is all about your first experiment.